island. No, I'm kidding. She didn't say that. That'd be better if you played into the joke. That's my nanny. Well, not my nanny. That'd be weird if you were my nanny. My kids, no, you're not.
I am his nanny.
I know, thank you. After the show, look at Patrice. Anyway, yeah, between the two of you, wait a minute. I'm about to get divorced tonight. Anyway, I'm kidding. I love my wife, ma'am. I love her so much. It's hard being a comedian. There's so many women around, right? I'm kidding. But I know we have a strong, so I was like, I see how black women raise their kids strong. I love having Patrice raise my little boys. Who cares if my son's first words were, Lord of mercy, That's not even from Trinidad, that's from Jamaica. I just messed up there, right? I love having Patrice. Because of Patrice, my sons have Vaseline on their face all year round. That's the shiniest baby. True story, sir, I live it, I know. It's also the slipperiest baby. I just dropped this other baby. But also, because of my wonderful nanny, my son does this all the time, and I didn't realize this was a thing, but because of Patrice, my son does this a lot. Oh, that hurts my hand. I was like, there's something wrong with this kid, but if you're not familiar with what that is when Patrice's weave is itchy, that is how she scratches it. Yeah, he's like explaining it to her. Yeah, she's like, well, what you do is, now. Yeah, 3 doctor's appointments later, I now realize that. Yes. Lord of mercy. Yeah, you might have to explain to people. I don't know. Another silver lining of the pandemic for me is I didn't have to see my sister-in-law, Lindsay. Do you know her? No, that'd be weird if you did, right? Lindsay, I cannot stand, I like my in-laws. I'm not one of those married guys who are like, in-laws, No, I love my in-laws, Jeff and Diane. I hate my sister-in-law, Lindsay. And she was stranded in New Zealand. I hate her for so many reasons. Lindsay's this type of person, right? She's like, she used to live in Williamsburg, but she's from a shitty town in Pennsylvania, so she moves to Williamsburg. All of a sudden, she's super bohemian. She wears like a hat like you, and everything. She's like, super bohemian. Everything she does has to be different. The guy she dates is mysterious. I'm dating this new guy. What's his name? That's his name? You just made a sound with your mouth. He's really mysterious. How? He only writes me handwritten letters. I'm pretty sure because he doesn't own a cell phone. He paints pictures in the park all day. That is a homeless man. No, he has a job. He makes these little glass flutes. Those are crack pipes! Those are crack pipes, Lindsay! But she quit her day job. She was volunteering all over the world on this boat, giving back. No, she wasn't. It was this fake-ass volunteering bullshit. She was on a boat. She wound up in New Zealand. But before that, she was going to all these third world countries with people to volunteer. And I was like, well, that's amazing, Lindsay. Are you going to these countries to feed the children? She's like, oh, no, we don't feed them. We make them necklaces. What? Yeah, it really boosts their morale. You know what else boosts your morale? Food. Rice. That's what boosts your morale. You imagine you're a little kid, you haven't eaten in like 3 weeks, you get so excited, you're like, oh my God, food? No, necklace. Put it on. No, don't eat it. How's it make you feel? Hungry, you bitch. It doesn't make me feel. You could have made a macaroni necklace, a candy necklace. But the main reason I hate Lindsay is because she's a vegetarian. Real simple, petty shit, right, man? Any vegetarians here? The girl in the hat? No? Anyone? You are, sir? Oh, no, you're my friend. I like you. You were really my friend, but yeah. What was your name?
Rondo.
Rondo? Yeah. Nobody likes you, Rondo. I'll tell you why. Listen here. Yeah. This is an intervention. These are all your friends. We hate you. No, I'm kidding. Rondo. Who is this lovely lady with you? Shay. Rondo, are you this type of vegetarian? Are you the type of vegetarian that gets to dictate where everyone else goes to eat?
No.
Okay. Shay, can you confirm that? You do it. You get to dictate. Okay, well, all right. Nobody likes Shay either. On the count of 3, let's say, I don't like you. 1, 2, 3. All right, awesome. Yeah, you're like, what the hell does Guido do at this comedy show? Anyway, But no, Lindsay is that type of person. She gets to dictate where we go eat, regardless if the rest of the group are carnivores. And she always recommends these pretentious vegetarian places only, like a tasting menu for $249. And the first course is a lima bean with some beet dust. What is beet dust? Your final course is just a little eye drop of olive oil, and for an additional $39.95, Francisco comes over with that very same beet dust. Francisco, that's Frank, I went to high school with him. But I love when we go to a restaurant that my brother-in-law Jared picks where Lindsay cannot find shit to eat on the menu. I'm going to share with you this last story. It's the happiest day of my life, besides this performance. Happiest day of my life is when we went to a restaurant called the Texas Roadhouse that my brother-in-law picked. Oh, meat. Has anyone ever been there? Yes. Lindsay won't be able to find shit on that menu. But like every annoying vegetarian, right, you still have to ask the waiter how it's prepared, right? You still have to ask, you just can't trust anyone. So you go down the list. I was like, please, someone be with me, please. Sir, can you tell me about the Brussels sprouts? Oh, what we do is we take those, we cook those right in bacon. Strike one. Strike one. What about the baked potato? Before we serve the baked potato, we have a cow alive on staff. The cow licks it, bring it right to the table. Yeah, but the cow's still alive. Then we kill that cow, table side. Like guacamole. Really? There's children around. Yeah. Finally, the corn on the cob. For flavor, we take the corn, stick it directly inside the cavity of the chicken. We let the juices drip down. Delicious. She was like, what am I supposed to eat? What am I supposed to eat? Oh, why don't you eat a necklace, Lindsay? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You guys are amazing. Keep it up, my man, Danny.
Yes, sorry.
Guys, here you go. Vincent James, everybody. Nice job, bro. That was lit. Okay, Maggie, was he bothering you? Okay, guys, your final comedian. Are you guys ready for your headliner? Everybody in New York, let's clap it up, right? This is such a fun time. Your headliner plays all over the world, guys. Give it up for Adam Strauss, everybody. Adam!
Thank you. All right. Yeah. No, we're not going to use this. All right. Don't get me wrong. I like stand-up comedy. I appreciate stand-up comedy. I'm good at it. But I don't really want to do it right now. Which is awkward because you guys came to see stand-up comedy. But having watched the last half hour of the show, I think it'll be fine. I mean, it'll be fine for me. I think it'll be okay for you too. We'll find out. I love comedy, but it's a very limited form, you know? I think of it like with stand-up, because you have to get a laugh every 30 seconds. It's kind of like, it's like snorkeling. You know, you have to surface continually for air. And I want to do more scuba diving. I want to go deeper and just kind of poke around the ocean floor. So, yeah, get used to the silence. Thank you, I appreciate that. I'll take verbal feedback too. Yeah, I don't actually know where I'm going with it, so I appreciate your confidence. Yeah, it's no, I mean it's, you know, I think one of the things that bothers me about stand-up is it's like, it feels amazing when you get laughter. I vaguely remember, but but it feels like very contingent. Like it's like you guys love me for making you laugh, and I want to be loved for myself. And then I'm 47. I'm gonna die at some point. Yeah,
We all are.
this guy. Probably. I don't know. Maybe
Most
some of us will. Most likely. I think most likely. Sorry.
Some sooner than most.
Some sooner than most.
99%.
The death question really engaged the audience in a pretty dark direction. I walked into the room, everyone was laughing. I'm up here for 45 seconds. You guys are debating who's going to die first. Holy shit. I feel feel like I tapped a vein in this room that has heretofore been undetected. See, I get to use words like heretofore. You can't do that if you're doing traditional stand-up. So, yeah, it's, no, I just, but I am going to die, we're all going to die, and I've had so many times I've done stand-up. It's gone great. I get off stage and I just feel like lonely, because I haven't talked about the true shit for me. So I'm going to talk about the real stuff. And yeah, that's it. That's what we're doing right now. It's been, I'm doing okay. I don't think I'm going to die imminently. Though I will say this, I went through a rough period about 20 minutes ago, and I went through a rough period. It wasn't long ago. It was a few weeks ago. And I was thinking about suicide. I wasn't suicidal, but I was thinking about it. But the reason I knew I wasn't really suicidal is because I was still flossing. I realized one night, right after I finished sobbing, and I'm flossing my teeth. I'm like, oh, I'm not ready to jump off this ledge right now, because, like, I would, if I was going to kill myself imminently, I would still brush my teeth, because that's just unpleasant for yourself if you don't brush. But flossing, I feel like I have at least 6 months left to live if I'm still flossing. At least before this set. This could accelerate things. We'll see. But yeah, shit got really bad. So I have obsessive compulsive disorder. If anyone has OCD, raise your hand 6 times. And it's been challenging. See, my OCD, I don't have like the contamination fear, germs. Thank God with COVID, that would be awful. For me, it's decision making. Basically, I will agonize over like even fairly trivial choices, and then when I make a decision, I will feel an overwhelming compulsion to reverse my choice. I feel like I've made the wrong choice. And I can ping pong back and forth. And the decision that has caused me the most grief for the past 6 months has been basically, so I've been living rent-free in this gigantic penthouse apartment in the West Village, and it's been fucking hell for me. Because I've been continually tormented. I will stand, in a little bit of a nod to the form of stand-up. I'm not going to use the mic, but I will stand for a little bit. Mostly because I want some place to put my water on. Water, really the star of the show, guys. It's 70% of our bodies. So you may not laugh, but you will learn some facts. Though probably all of you knew that fact. So still not a ton of value so far. So the decision-making OCD, I've been obsessed about whether I should leave this apartment. It's a wealthy friend's apartment. I'm house sitting for him. Whether I should leave his apartment and go back to my own apartment in Brooklyn, where I'll have to pay rent because my apartment in Brooklyn is being sublet right now. But the problem with this penthouse is there's a hump. There's a hump. I'm going to go back to sitting. That feels more in keeping with the energy I'm putting out right now. There's this fucking hump. And it's not like a static hum. It's not like you can hear this AC here. There's like a throbbing quality to it. It's like this sort of and it fucking drives me crazy because I obsess about it, because I fixate on it, because I have OCD, and I don't even know if it's really fucking there. It could just be in my head. Does anyone else hear the AC at least?
Yeah, I do now.
Okay. Any questions for me?
What neighborhood in Brooklyn you live in?
Why did I know it was going to be it? And I like how that was the part that you needed to clarify. Like, what part of Brooklyn? Brooklyn Heights. Sorry?
I live in Carroll Gardens.
You live in Carroll Gardens. We're practically, well, I don't live there now. I live in a giant penthouse in the West Village. But under ordinary circumstances, we are, and I love Brooklyn. I prefer Brooklyn to Manhattan. But, yeah, this apartment is pretty sweet. But it has been. So I call my OCD white privilege OCD, because I get obsessed with these fairly, like, luxury decisions, but I really do get fucking obsessed. Another one that took over recently is another friend has a house on Cape Cod, right on the ocean, and he told me I could stay there for free. And I spent 2 weeks obsessing about whether or not I should leave this penthouse I'm staying for free to go to this oceanfront house where I could stay for free in Cape Cod. And I was obsessed, a lot of it I was obsessed about the weather, I wanted to pick the exact right time to go. So I would have 3 web browsers open side by side with weather.com, AccuWeather.com, and WeatherUnderground.com. Yeah, and I wasn't just like comparing, like I wasn't just concerned about like, is it gonna rain? Like that's amateur shit. Obviously I'm concerned about that, but I'm looking for cloud cover, and not just cloud cover, but how high is the cloud ceiling? Because a 10,000 foot cloud ceiling feels very different than like an 1,000 foot cloud ceiling. It feels much more oppressive with the lower cloud ceiling. And all 3 browsers open side by side. And it's pretty fucking crazy. I mean, I must have checked the weather over the course of 2 weeks probably 400 times. Just fucking refreshing. Just looking for the thing. Basically, with OCD, you want certainty. So I was looking for certainty, like, oh, this week the weather will be nicer than the subsequent week. And of course, there's no certainty in the world. Like, no one knows what's fucking going on. Clearly, I don't know what's going on right now or generally.
So did you go?
Cutting to the chase, I like it. This is a question that advances the story. I did go, but by the time I decided to go, I could only have like 4 days there. It was still beautiful. But it gets fucking dark, man, with the OCD. Like, I know this stuff is crazy. I know it's not like worth obsessing to this degree about, but I just kind of get trapped. It's sort of like an addiction, because when I feel like I've gotten it right, like I'm making the right decision, there's a little momentary hit of relief, but then it doesn't last, so then I start obsessing more, trying to find that certainty. So, all right. So I've been doing this for a while, just getting on stage and talking, and tonight feels different. I think because you guys are so attentive, ironically, it's like, oh, I feel like I should entertain them more.
No, don't do
Do you sing?
I like this stuff. Interesting. Do I sing? I do sing. I actually do sing. And just for myself, I do dance. I love dancing. Is one of my favorite things in the world.
That works.
Yeah. I mean, not alone on stage, but
I want to hear more OCD stories.
yeah, this guy. This would be okay. I'll tell you a little bit more about it. This guy's like, I want to hear more about this guy's pathetic suffering. So no, but I appreciate it because I do. I think the truth is, I don't know why I feel a need to share this stuff, but it just feels like I'm working towards something creatively. I don't know what it is.
It's free therapy.
No, not really. This isn't. Sitting in front of a room of 70 people staring at you is not exactly therapy. But it's, so maybe no, I don't think it's that. I think actually the truth is, this is going to sound arrogant or presumptuous, but it's actually something I want to do for you all. It's like something that I want to give, even though I realize that not everyone is engaged by this. It feels to me like a more genuine form of sharing than just saying things that will get a laugh, but that ultimately don't have any depth to them for me.
I agree. It's great.
Thank you. The rest of the audience just silently blinking.
Good neighbor. No.
No, I appreciate it. So, I do like Weather Underground, though. It's a website. Do people know historically what the Weather Underground was?
No.
See, all right, so the Weather Underground was a fucking terrorist organization. They blew up a townhouse in the West Village in like the 1970s. And I love the fact that a weather website is named after this terrorist organization because it's kind of like a secret fuck you to corporate America, you know? That you're going to use this very underground subversive name for something that it doesn't get more vanilla than weather websites. Though also you could look at it the other way, right? That actually, the fact is no one knows what the original Weather Underground was. So in a sense, they're probably like, you know what, no one, but it does have kind of a recognition to it, a sort of resonance, I think, even if you don't know what it was. So that's probably why they picked the name. They're like, you know what, no one knows what it actually is, but people kind of have a recognition, so it will like decrease our branding cost by 15%. So it's actually a very corporate thing to do. This is fascinating tonight. There we go. I think that's the sound effect I was looking for at this point. Yeah. Where should we go with this?
Cape Cod.
I did go to Cape Cod. It was nice. I think part of also why I do this is because, oh man, I think I just pulled something. Because I feel like genuine connections are just increasingly rare. And I think so much of that is due to social media and just technology. Like you express love now for something, for a message, a post, you just tap it. You tap it once or twice. Twice is the most effort you have to spend to express love for something. Like it just becomes so transactional. Yeah.
What do you think about the metaverse?
I haven't really read anything about it. I've been trying to disconnect from the news. Yeah, I mean, Trump is still president, right? All right. Just trying to bring everyone together. So, all right, we'll talk about a few things here.
Dating?
Am I dating? I am dating. The OCD,
It's a stand-up topic.
I feel like a lot of women have been using me for my body, quite frankly. I've had post-pandemic, every woman I've slept with has basically, it turned out they've used me for a one-night stand, and that has not been my choice. And I feel, I feel kind of icky about it. So I'm trying to stay away from, I'm basically not fucking people until I know them better now, is my new mantra. But we'll see how that goes, because it's been a few weeks, and I have to lower my standards. Yeah. Are you still discussing Carroll Gardens over there?
No, we're just having a friendly conversation.
Fair enough. Carry on. Sort of what we're doing too. All right, I have to decide where to go with this. Yeah, I can talk more about the dating thing. Well, so one thing I like about stand-up is it is the way I've met most women in my life in recent years. And it's been, but yeah, the relationships haven't, I'll tell you it hasn't been, all right, so the first woman I got together with post-lockdown a few months ago, I actually didn't meet her at a show, I met her after a friend's show. And basically, I was walking down the street with a friend. I was walking down McDougal Street, and I noticed this woman walking alongside us, just strikingly attractive, like even by New York City standards, like really beautiful. And then she stopped, and she turned to me, and she's like, "Do you know where Fiddlesticks is?" And I said, "Yes, it's an awful bar. I don't know if you guys know Fiddlesticks. It's an awful bar in the West Village." And I said, "Let me show you where it is." And even though I was with my best friend in the world, I immediately turned away from him and just walked away with this woman. I don't know what happened. He could have gotten hit by a car. I don't know. I don't care. So we hung out that night, me and her friends. And then the next night, she came to a show of mine. And obviously, you guys are seeing me right now. You know what happens when you see me perform. Obviously, we had sex later that night. And what many of you are feeling. And I was mostly enjoying myself, but she was being very quiet during sex. And as you see, the thing is, as a comic, you really train yourself. One of the reasons I don't like stand-up is you train yourself to be acutely aware of how other people are reacting to you and be overly concerned. And it's, in a sense, I think sex is kind of similar to comedy. In both cases, you can sort of assess your performance based on the noises the other people involved are making. And so her silence was disconcerting. So basically, I call shit out. Whatever I'm feeling, I generally say. So I was like, "Hey," I was like, "Are you enjoying yourself?" I probably didn't say, "That sounds like you're at a bar mitzvah or something." It wasn't that. I was like, "Have you tried the prime rib?" I was like, "You're being quiet. Are you having fun?" I don't know exactly what I
Are you
said.
still alive?
And she, sorry?
Are you still alive?
Are you? No, she was clearly alive. There was some audio, just not a lot. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And I was like, "Well, listen." If there's something you want to do that we're not doing, just tell me, because I'll do anything. Like at this age, I'll do anything. We were having sex. My penis was inside her vagina. I was moving it in and out in a fairly rhythmic fashion. I would say, "Do you need more detail on this?"
That's good. I got it.
You got it. Okay, cool. So,
Graphic.
we were engaging in coitus. So So I said, if there's something you want to do that we're not doing, tell me, because I will. I'll do anything. At this age, I won't, you can stick anything anywhere, I'll stick anything anywhere you want it. Like, there's only been, I will, I'm not going to deny anyone their pleasure. There's only been one time in my entire life that a woman has wanted to do something, and I have said no, this was a few years ago. I was dating a woman who was very into S&M, and she actually got me into it, and it was fun. But at one point, she became kind of obsessed with this idea. She wanted me to waterboard her.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was like, listen, I want you to get off, but I'm not going to violate the Geneva Convention. That just feels like war crimes is where I draw the line. So it's the only time, though. So I said to this woman a couple of months ago, something you want to do, we're not doing, tell me. And also, conversely, if there's, I say conversely in the bedroom, it's part of my dirty talk repertoire. Conversely, heretofore, if there's something I'm doing that you don't want me to do, tell me that. And she said, can you stop talking? So anyway, I didn't see her again, but I do still have one of her earrings, so I feel like she'll be back. She'll be back. But that was, that was my first time back in the saddle, because for the first 4 or 5 months of the lockdown, I was living with a girlfriend on the West Coast. That did not work out. Maybe because there was a pretty significant age difference. There were a lot of issues with that. It was also, it was an open relationship, or so I call it time sharing. It's that didn't work. I've stooped to doing jokes. What am I doing with my life? It's okay. One night. So, but then after that ended, I spent 9 months living with my parents. So yeah, that was my first time back. And since then, I don't know. I meet women mostly doing shows or at dance parties. Dance parties, my tactic. It's not a tactic. I wouldn't say I'm a good dancer, but I'm a very expressive dancer. And so I often knock drinks out of people's hands. And I met 2 women this summer knocking drinks out of their hands. All right, any other questions? This is so interesting to me. I don't know why this feels so different, but it does, which is okay. All right. Exactly. This guy is so fucking over it. It's fine, man. You paid to go to a stand-up show, and I'm not doing that, so. No, that's a totally legitimate response. I can do it. Let's do an experiment. Let's see. Can I actually go into stand-up now? Let's find. Yeah. Well, you don't know. You don't know. Wow, you guys are. No, it's fair. I won't begrudge anyone.
It's a gift to make people laugh and smile. It's a gift to the world. It's not stooping down.
This person doesn't think it's. Oh, I don't think it's stooping down. I don't think it's stooping down. I think usually this has gone very well. It hasn't tonight, and that's not at all your fault. There's some variable I haven't figured out, as given by the fact that the loudest laugh so far is an audience member. So I am learning a lot from this, so it's helpful for me. And yeah, let's see if we can do stand-up now. All right, so let's bring it in, guys. Let's bring it in. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna floss my teeth tonight. Here we go. All right. The comforting sound of a dude talking loudly into a microphone. The soothing anodyne sounds of that. So yeah, no, I do enjoy stand-up too. Yeah, we talked a little about the OCD. Well, so I think part of what I'm trying to do with this stuff is I don't just do stand-up, I do solo shows, and I'm trying to figure out how to meld the two. So I have a show, so I told you about the OCD. The OCD was really bad. It got somewhat better. I read a scientific study where they found that hallucinogenic mushrooms could potentially cure OCD. So I tried to cure myself, and I have a solo show called The Mushroom Cure about this. I don't know if anyone has seen it. You have? Okay, cool. So for people who haven't seen it, they always ask me when I tell them, they're like, well, did it work? And I'm always like, just fucking buy tickets. And then they're like, but I'm your mother, I'm just concerned about you. So it helped. It didn't cure me, clearly. It did help. I will say, I once took a huge dose of mushrooms about an hour ago, and it was, I don't even know if this is really happening, but it was helpful, but also the OCD can be challenging at times. Yeah, and it does. It affects, you asked about dating, it does. It affects relationships. It affects a lot of areas of my life. I don't feel like stand-up is like talking down, but it does feel like, yeah, there's a transactional nature to it. Because if you really break it down, what is the job of comedy? It's to evoke laughter. And the reason you like to laugh is essentially when people laugh, it releases dopamine. It's a pleasure hormone. It's a physiological reaction that is inherently pleasurable. Dopamine is the same hormone that's released when you have an orgasm. More dopamine with orgasms than laughter, clearly. It's why prostitutes get paid significantly more than I do. Though I will say, my advantage is I can service more clients simultaneously. Like this is not a gigantic audience for a comedy club, but this would be an epic gangbang. So I think at this point, we should probably, this side of the room is down to pivot. This side is still on the fence. I guess what I'm trying to say, guys, is I don't think I'm gay, but, I mean, the idea doesn't sound appealing to me, but neither did sushi before I tried. I feel like, how can you judge it, right? How can you judge it without trying it? I will say, though, one thing about having a penis, it does clarify your sexuality in a way, because it gets aroused for what it likes, you know? Like the hard penis, really the original evolutionary thumbs up, if you think about it. So I don't think, but who fucking knows? I don't know. I don't pretend to know anything. I don't think anyone knows anything. I think reality is subjective. If you think I'm wrong, you're right. I do think, yeah, it is, what's going on at this table? You can share your conversation, just friendly conversations. I like this audience. You guys are, you're attentive. That's what I would call. Are you guys local?
She is.
She is. You guys are visiting. Has this been covered already? No. Where are you all visiting from?
Jersey.
Jersey. Okay. Exotic.
Oh, yeah.
How do you know each other?
Went to grade school together.
Grade school together. And you've kept in touch. So you didn't go to school after that. You've kept in touch since grade school. It's amazing. Couldn't get any worse. All right. No, I deserve that. Yeah. You know, I did an experiment tonight. And well, whatever. You don't need the behind the music commentary on this whole thing. Yeah, I headline because usually this goes well. But anyway, I don't need to tell you. Usually, that's like me. Basically, I'm saying, hey, this has never happened before, honey. I swear this is the first time. But I can't get it up. You didn't catch the metaphor? All right. The metaphor was a man who can't perform sexually and says it's never happened before, because this has never happened before. But I am getting a little aroused by the silence. No, I'm not. That's yeah. So what's happening now is you guys have it's so unclear who I am and what my character is that it's basically impossible to relate at this point. So I think I'm going to, again, you guys have been great. I apologize that I feel like at this point I'm a magician and I don't have the trick you want. So it's not your fault. I apologize that I wasn't able to pull it off tonight. I also want to thank you because this has been super helpful for me. So yeah, I feel like you guys got the raw end of the deal, and I'm sorry for that. Does anyone have any questions, or if there's anything I could do to suck your dicks? I don't know what to do. What do I offer? I don't know how to. I feel bad. But
It's like an Adam Kaufman thing, man. That's all.
Andy Kaufman, but yeah. I think it's all good for you. I think it's not all good for a lot of people, and that's cool because again, this is.
Try it out. It didn't work. So no.
Just keep forcing.
Just keep flossing. Yeah, let's. I think the most humbling way I can leave the stage is after an applause break, not for me, but for an audience member. So,
Drop the mic.
thank you and good night.
It's Adam Strauss, everybody. Adam Strauss. Yeah. Yo, this legit was like extremely fun. I had a really great time. I hope you guys did too. Wait, why is that part funny? Because I said lit? Alright, whatever. Okay, please tip your servers well. They're awesome. Thank you so much for coming out to Dark Horse. We're gonna have drinks. There's drink specials afterwards upstairs if you guys want to get a drink special. Maggie said she's buying everybody shots, so we'll see you guys upstairs. Thank you so much, New York. Have a good night. Thank you.